When Magan Fieramusca learned that Heidi Broussard's water had broken, she jumped in her car and began the 165-mile drive from Houston to Austin. The two women had known each other for a decade, and Magan Fieramusca wanted to be there when Heidi went into labor. She made it to the delivery room in time to hold Heidi Broussard's hand and help her through her contractions, becoming one of the first people to hold newborn baby Margot Carey on November 26th. Then prosecutors say she hatched a plot to kidnap her friend's baby and pass it off as her own. According to court documents released on Monday, Magan Fieramusca, age 33, had been nursing a fake pregnancy for months. 2 weeks after Heidi Broussard's friends and family gathered around her in the delivery room, the young mother vanished. Her body was later found stuffed in the trunk of a car behind Magan Fieramusca's home. Fieramusca, whose attorney has asked the public not to rush to judgment, has been charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and 1 count of tampering with the corpse. Prosecutors say she could potentially face additional charges up to and including capital murder. As the Washington Post previously reported, Heidi Broussard, 33, left home with 2-week-old Margot in tow early on the morning of December 12th. She dropped off her 6-year-old son at his elementary school. Then she returned to her Austin apartment complex. But when her fiancé, Shane Carey, got home that afternoon, both Heidi and the baby were gone. 1 week later, Magan Fieramusca was arrested. Frequently described as Heidi's best friend, she had met the young mother roughly 10 years earlier when they both attended the Texas Bible Institute in Columbus, Texas. Though the two women lived in different cities, Heidi in Austin and Fieramusca in Houston, they stayed close and regularly spoke on the phone, Fox 7 Austin reported. When Broussard got pregnant in early 2019, Fieramusca announced that she too was expecting a baby. She wondered if they would give birth on the same day. By November, when Margot was born, Magan Fieramusca claimed to be 37 weeks into her pregnancy, with her due date 1 week away, but some acquaintances were skeptical. Vicky Shreves, another close friend of Heidi Broussard's, told People magazine that Magan Fieramusca didn't look pregnant when she turned up in the delivery room when Heidi was giving birth, and she kept a pillow clutched over her stomach. Shane Carey, who told police that Magan Fieramusca appeared visibly pregnant, nonetheless found some of her behavior odd. When Margot was handed to her grandfather for the first time, Magan interrupted and said she wanted to hold the baby first, the affidavit says. Though she claimed that she was going to have to leave soon, she spent the night at the new parents' apartment instead of driving back to Houston. Shane Carey told police that he gave Fieramusca a key, which she promised to leave on the counter when she left. The couple never saw that key again. On December 12th, the day that Heidi and her baby daughter disappeared, surveillance camera captured a car that resembled Magan Fieramusca's driving towards the back of the couple's apartment complex, the affidavit says. When Shane Carey returned home that afternoon, he found his fiancée's car in the parking lot with its doors unlocked and her purse inside. He also noticed that she didn't seem to have taken any of the baby supplies that she would need for an outing with baby Margot. Hours later, Heidi still hadn't returned, and none of her friends or family could tell Shane where she was, so Shane Carey called the police. When officials launched an extensive search for the missing mother and child, Magan returned home to Houston, where she had been living with her ex-boyfriend, Christopher Green. The pair had broken up in March 2019, around the same time that Magan Fieramusca told him that she was pregnant with his child. Christopher would later tell authorities, according to court records. They continued to share a home, and Christopher Green watched as Magan Fieramusca's stomach expanded. When he touched her belly, it felt hard, he told the police, but because they were no longer a couple, he never saw her undressed. Then on December 12th, Megan Fieramusca told Christopher Green that she was going to the beach with her cousin while he was at work. According to the affidavit, he didn't see her again until the following day. When she returned, she had a baby with her. Begging Christopher not to be mad, she told him that she had gone into labor and delivered their child without telling him. Nearly a week later, on December 19th, Christopher went to buy baby clothes and formula at Target. As he left the store, detectives from the Texas Department of Public Safety intercepted him and handed him a missing persons flyer with the pictures of Heidi Broussard and baby Margot. "That's the baby at my house," Christopher Green allegedly responded. Investigators headed to the former couple's home. Inside, they found a baby girl who DNA testing later confirmed was baby Margot. According to the affidavit, a gray Nissan Versa was parked in the small backyard behind the house as if someone was trying to hide it. And there was an odor coming from the trunk, which was the unmistakable odor of decomposing flesh. The smell came from a black duffel bag that contained Heidi Broussard's body. She had been strangled. According to the affidavit, Megan Fieramusca had Googled Heidi Broussard at least 162 times during the 5 weeks leading up to her arrest. She had also searched reasons for Amber Alerts, and Amber Alerts issued in Austin on the day her friend disappeared and before an Amber Alert was issued. When questioned by police, Megan said that she had recently had a baby at a birthing center in the Houston area, but she couldn't remember the name of the birthing center, and she claimed that no one besides the nurses and doctors had been there when she went into labor. It is unclear whether Megan Fieramusca was actually pregnant. The affidavit notes that the FBI Behavioral Analyst Unit found her to meet the profile of someone who would kidnap a child out of maternal desire, which can apply both to mothers who have lost pregnancies and those who have lied about expecting a child. In a statement to local media outlets, Megan Fieramusca's attorney, Brian Erskine, noted that her defense team has not yet been given the opportunity to review the evidence in the case. "We call upon patience and resisting the rush to judgment until the facts are all in," he said. The information contained in recently released probable cause affidavit is nothing more than mere allegations, he said. Now a little over a month old, Margot spent several days in foster care while her identity was being verified, but she was reunited with her father shortly before Christmas, KHOU reported.